All right, guys, it could be happening. The pre-market's green this morning. Bitcoin finally tagged that $125,000 mark. Are we on that ride to 130? Even bigger, are we on the ride to 150 for the end of 2025? We certainly have some decent conditions that I'll tell you what, if we really are going to climb the fear wall, now's that time to do that. As you know, people expect things to be going into the toilet, and so the market's like, well, you guys are selling things off, we're going to buy it up. And so you get that passing of each other, if you will, and that could lead to more of a blow off top moment. Well, let's put the charts up here and we'll talk about the best penny stocks to buy now and also my underdogs. In addition to, let's start with big Bitcoin. There we go. BTC compared to the US dollar, and check that out. This first of all, that peak that we were looking at right there, that took us all the way up to 125,725, at least as per the Bitstamp prices that are on here. And then the very next candle over, look at what we got for that open right smack dab at the top of this area of resistance that I've been talking about. I said we need to sit on top of this. That is absolutely enormous for being able to push up higher. Now we do also have this peak over here that happens to be at 124,517, but we kind of already pierced through that. We punctured through it. So now it's a matter of sitting on top of it and pushing a little higher. This could be that moment that's starting to catalyze us to push us up even higher from where we're at right now. If we lose this level, then we got to start all over again. Got to watch and see what happens in this area of resistance. Sell off, and we don't have confirmation yet over whether this is going to keep climbing or it's the sell off. You can see the structural difference in the candles as they go along, that they're starting to shrink and round off a little bit for us. And we'll see if we get that moment where it takes that moment to rest. That retracement that we got could be about all we see. Watch for this trend line coming across the tops here, across these two previous peaks, because that's also likely where we're going to tag that and turn around. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci retracements, 123,621, we're sitting on top of it. 124,517, we're sitting below it right now. 131 is this number all the way up here. And even if I put the Fibonacci extensions on, you can see we don't even touch that. We have a lot of sky above us from where we're at right now, and I really hope that we hit it. So SPY, what are we doing in the pre-market as we track the S&P 500? Well, we're getting near overtaking that peak. We'll see if we're able to push up above it. But just be careful at this point in time, because this is always a time when you're near the top of, okay, well, where do you, those snapping moments, if you will. So if the government shutdown concludes and then we get non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate, for example, and they happen to be worse than expected, or you get some sort of bad news, especially as we get to those critical technical levels where it's like, okay, this is a resistance, a major, massive resistance for us, and now something bad has come out. That's those moments where you get the market kind of herky-jerking down. So we got to be on the lookout for those things. But barring those things, those black swans, gray swans, brown swans, I don't know what you want to call them. Just, they don't even necessarily have to be a huge, major negative thing, but just something big enough that it impacts the entire stock market. Something like that could cause us to retrace quite a bit from where we're at right now. So this is that Jenga tower building up, if you will, that right now things are good, the game's getting intense. And so for me, that steady upward movement is still where I think we see things. I don't know if it's aggressive like the beginning of that Jenga game where things are a little bit more carefree and you're able to stack things easier. So popping this back up here for you, going over to the Qs, there we are. Nice to see after such that profit taken that we got on Friday that we're trying to get back up over this shelf that we've made, 607.16 and 607.33. So sitting on top of that low to mid 607 could be that thing that we're looking for, especially open up above it and get more price discovery north of that. Now, mind you, there is some resistance here. That happens to be about 609.76. That's the number to sit on top of, 609.76 for the Qs. And if we go over to IWM, there you go. We are back right at this resistance line here on this rising wedge pattern that we have. And we got within 1 penny of this 248.08. On Friday, we hit 248.09. So we actually broke it by 1 penny. Pretty cool to see that happen. And now we're back up from where we closed at. So a lot of excitement in the market this morning. And there's a lot of reason to believe that risk on is where we're still finding ourselves at until we get a reason to go risk off. And that reason just hasn't hit yet. So let's put this back up there. And Big Bear AI, there we are. Still struggling in the pre-market, but with my technicals on here, you can see we're at that area of resistance. We got to clear 735. The last 3 times we tried, haven't been able to do it. We got it back here, but then quickly sold off going back into Thursday, September the 25th. But we are still kind of seeing those buying pressure wicks coming off of this. So we'll see if we're able to push that or if we come back down and retest the 13 again, we're going to have to watch and see. Staying up above the 5 and the 13 EMAs, the green and the yellow one here, is highly critical for us. NVTS. Well, we're up above that 794. Perfect. That leaves us room up to that 842. And this thing's been absolutely wild. The volumes have showed us signs of accumulation, especially as those prices continue to climb. So I don't know that this red pepper is the thing that forces us back down yet. We got some nice buying pressure coming off the 5 EMA, and we're up above the 5, the 13, the 50, and the 200. So we're still well into bullish territory. But watch out for the selling pressure that's over here. We have to clear 950 in order to have further room to the upside to see if we're going to get that $10 price tag coming out of it. And that probably does require that we stay in that risk on type environment in order to make it happen. RZLV, $7.07, looking pretty right now. So, but once again, we're in that selling pressure territory like we had for NVTS. This is just a time where we're going to have that struggle. Even more signs of accumulation for RZLV here, and we'll see if we can keep that going with volumes even outpacing what we got during the last rise. So really astounding and incredible to see this movement happen, and we'll see if we can go ahead and push out that next price tag on this. The extension level is $10.30, up from where we're at right now, and we'll see if we're able to clear this resistance to the north that starts right around 778 and goes up until the numbers covered $8.45. Probably this peak that we have over here, where I said watch out for the rejection. We made it just up to the top and then pushed back down anyway. So actually that number before was 816, and then this made that 845 number. So that's the number to beat up above that. But you guys have your range there for you for that. Now for the 5 underdogs, Under Armour, even this morning, not a lot going on. That's why it stays at the number 5 spot in my top 5 underdog stocks. The trade desk up about another %. Let's keep on watching that. I think we have room up to the 50 EMA on this one. That aligns with that shelf that you see over here. And that happens to be about $55. And right now we're at about 51. Could be a week to see that go ahead and hit that 50, which could make it tradable and could make options appropriate. So for Chipotle Mexican Grill, we're getting near that big fat area of resistance. And man, oh man, look at that. So for this one, capitalized on it last week. I think I took 23% profit home intraday, and we're getting near that 50, which is why I ducked out of this one before the weekend. Didn't want to sweat the risk. And so far in the pre-market, that was the right call. We'll see if we tag that. If we do with all the resistance to the north, I wouldn't be surprised to tag the 13 before heading further north if we're going to see that recovery for Chipotle. For Crocs, in the number 2 slot, this is what I was talking about for hitting that 50 and then retracing on CMG, on Chipotle Mexican Grill. There we have that rise up to the 50 and then the immediate rejection. Now watch the 5 and the 13, especially the 13, to shake enough people out, be like, oh, it's over. And then boom, then you get that next rocket ship taking off. We absolutely could see it. We want to keep watching for it. And then finally, Nike, up above its 200. This could be that tradable area. I would like to see it back up above the 5 and the 13 before we really get further confirmation that this thing's going, especially above the 50, which is at 72.65 as of Friday's close. So guys, I know I talked fast and I talked a lot. I will put this stuff over at the Discord along with the other panel experts and what they post and our transactions, which you can find on our channels. And then you can also see the live trading that happens, I believe Tuesdays and Thursdays are those days, and Ask the Expert. You can join the thousands of community members that we're already supporting in their journey. We can help support you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolio by using the link down in the description, code word doctor when you sign up, DOCTOR, and that's going to get you 50% off your first month sign up. There's some coursework for technicals and options trading as well. Through Stockmo Academy, code word doctor gets you $400 off the courses when you sign up. If you bundle the 2 courses together, you get a bundle discount on top of that $400 discount. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. It was the next video.